We are now live.
Okay, so I'll call this meeting to order at 3:10. Is that correct? Close enough. And we'll go to number 3. The approval of the agenda is circulated. Approval of the October 20th, 2021 agenda. Be it resolved that the agenda for October 20th, 2021 meeting of the Grafton Communal Water System Committee be approved as circulated. Could I have a mover, please? Mike? A seconder, John? It's going to be the John and Mike or the Mike and John show all day today, so. All in favor? Any questions regarding that? No? Everybody in favor? Passed, okay. We'll go to number 4, approval of the minutes. Be it resolved that the minutes of September 8th, 2021 Grafton Communal Water Committee meeting be approved. Can I have a mover, please? Mike, seconded by John. Any questions? No? All in favor? Passed. Business arising from previous minutes. Is there any business questions, anything arising from the previous minutes? Nothing. Going once, twice, 3 times, nothing. Okay. Number 6, financial reports. I'll put that over to Carol.
Okay,
Actually, maybe I should, I should get a mover for it first, Pat, or is that how we? Can't hear you, Pat. Okay, let me put it on the floor.
Sorry.
And you can speak on it, Carol.
Yes, please. Sorry.
Okay, be it resolved that the budget to actual report to October 31st be received and filed. Can I have a mover, please? John, seconded by Mike, and I'll let you take over, Carol.
I just really wanted to mention that that is to September 30th. It's not to October 31st. When it's printed in October, it puts it to September for some reason, or puts it to October for some reason.
Okay, so we can make that change, Yolanda, to September 30th.
Yeah.
Is there any questions or concerns about the financial report? Anything you want to talk about, Carol, or?
Nothing that I have.
Okay. Anybody else? No issues? Okay. We did make the motion, so all in favor to pass it? Good. Okay. Number 7, projects, current updates, constructions, and other. Be it resolved that the technical memorandum from GeoCamp Limited dated October 15th, 2021, Grafton monitoring wells and BTEX detection update regarding September sampling be received and filed, and further that the report be forwarded to the Council of the Township of Alnwick-Haldeman. Can I have a mover, please? Mike, seconded by John. And we'll put it over to you. Bruce, it's all yours.
So this is a continuation, as everybody's aware. We have a toluene detection in one of the Sentinel monitoring wells, and that's monitoring well I, the intermediate one, maybe about 56 feet deep, I believe. And we've increased the sampling to quarterly. Normally it's annually. Last went out September 15th, collected the samples. We still have a very low detection. I met the Ministry of the Environment out there too. And an interesting thing we talked about is that the toluene might be naturally occurring. It's called, what is it called? It's called biogenic toluene, which is a toluene from peat deposits. Now, when I look at the log of that well, there's no indication of peat, but peat occurs all over the place in shallow deposits, deep ones. So that's an interesting suggestion by the Ministry of the Environment, and I was going to approach the lab to see what it takes to analyze for biogenic toluene. I think this is going to be a bit tricky. I have looked at it, and it's, it's not clear cut. But there's a number of indicators that might suggest that if it might be naturally occurring, which really is coming down to, we don't have any other sources. The landfill, we've written that off. We really don't know where it's coming from. So this naturally occurring toluene is a possibility. So the next sampling event is in December, and I mentioned it to the Ministry of the Environment that maybe we look into it for the December sampling event and collect a biogenic toluene sample then.
My room on my computer. Bruce, can I ask you a question on that?
Yeah.
When you deal with other wells in other counties and such, would you see the same thing?
No, I rarely come across BTEX being detected. And in this case, we've gone, was it 28 years or so, 25 years of monitoring without any detection, and all of a sudden it's popped up, and it's very persistent this year. Like it's not going away. But they're very low levels. They are very low.
All right.
Okay. We did talk about the MRF with the Ministry of the Environment, and we still haven't sampled that well. I just made a note of it. So I guess the big things out of this next or this sampling event is we still have toluene, very low concentrations. And the second thing is we want to look into biogenic toluene for the next sampling event. That's about it. Any other questions or comments?
So Bruce, that test for the biogenic toluene, that's like a special test that has to be done, or is it?
Yes. I don't know what's quite involved with it. I'd imagine it's like an isotope study. I've done the isotope studies for nitrates to determine if nitrates are naturally occurring or, for our man-made nitrates. For example, we were trying to examine, whether it was fertilizer, and in that case, and we used technology that was developed for organic farms. So they determine if the plants are being the nutrients are coming from man-made or natural nutrients. And I think it's very similar to this one. It's looking at isotopes. And based on my experience, I don't think it can be difficult to interpret. There's kind of a range. It's not, in hard fast, if it's this, it's that.
Okay.
And Mike, you had a question?
Well, actually, it was the same question. So you covered it. Thank you.
So then the test results, Bruce, could just be a general type thing. It's not going to rule it one way or the other, right? It's sort of it is possible, or?
It's open for interpretation. It's been my experience with these isotope analyses.
Okay. Now I do have a question.
Yeah.
Through the chair, through Greg. Okay, so the Ministry of the Environment is not concerned. Is that correct?
That's kind of my take on this. Like they're okay with us just monitoring quarterly. If they were concerned, I think they would ask for weekly samples. It's a bit of a mystery, but they want the sampling routines bumped up from annually to quarterly. And initially, when we first found it, it was weekly. They wanted weekly samples. So are they concerned? Not overly concerned. It's on their radar, but it's
Thank you.
It's essentially on their radar screen. It's not they're not overly concerned.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions regarding the memorandum? Being none, we had a motion to receive and file and to report to be forwarded to council. All in favor? Passed. Okay, we'll go down to 1920, which is the Grafton. Be it resolved that the Grafton Drinking Water System reporting period from June 2021 to September 2021, as prepared by Larry, Manager of Water Capital Projects, Lucy, be received and filed, and further that the report be forwarded to the Council of the Township of Alnwick Alderman. Can I have a mover, please? John, seconded by Mike. Go ahead, Larry, and then maybe Larry, you can introduce Adam.
Good afternoon, everybody. Yeah, I'd like to introduce Adam Taggart. Adam started with us 2 weeks ago. He's taken over the distribution and systems part of Lucy. So he's working with distribution. He's looking after distribution both in Coburg and in Grafton. And Adam comes from Belleville, where he was working for Belleville. So anyways, just to let you know, that's Adam, and he'll be attending our meetings on a regular basis.
Welcome, Adam.
Welcome, Adam. Okay, on the report, I guess a couple of the bigger things is the BTEX detection update there, where Troy and I met with the ministry, and they're talking about wanting to change the permit to take water. But it was all going to coincide with the sampling that Bruce did on September 15th, and they were doing on the 15th. So we haven't heard anything back from the ministry on that there, and the process that Troy and I were basically told was that we'd be able to comment on it, then we'd get Bruce to also comment on it for us so that we had an answer, and that they said there was no fee charge. and we're going to hold them to that because they're initiating the permit to take water. They want to make an amendment to it, but we do not know what the amendment is. I guess it's all based on this sampling that Bruce and the ministry did on the 15th.
So if I could add to that,
Yeah.
I did talk to the ministry about that. I did ask them why they were amending the permit. And I guess it's the way it's written that if you find a BTEX detection, and it has to be weekly sampling. And I guess this leads to Mike's question, are they concerned? And they want to amend the permit so that the municipality is not forced for weekly sampling because it's excessive.
Burden with the cost, I guess. Eh?
Yeah. So they want to change it to, I don't know what wording they're going to use, but that it's just being addressed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Thanks, Bruce.
Yep.
And then the second one is the raw water pipe repair there. The tender closed yesterday afternoon at 2. So I was just waiting for an email to come from SEMA who submitted bids in on the tender so that we can get that header replaced at the water plant. And we're looking at from start to finish, we're hoping less than 3 days because the legitimate or the longer part of it is a sampling. Because we sample one sample and then we have to wait 18 hours before we get submitted the other sample. And then we have to wait for the lab to give us the results. So that's the time frame. But the idea is to have everything constructed before and then shut down the plant, take everything apart and put the pieces that are built already in place, and then chlorinate, commission, and send samples away. And we're looking at doing this in November when the water usage is down historically, and that we would also touch base with the Alderman Fire Department to tell them that they'd have to arrange mutual aid for those days that the fire pump will not be available, and then we will also notify the water haulers or the users of the water bulk station that we will shut it down also during that time period so that we have water just for the residents.
So Larry, when this is shut down, there should be no issues then with the residents, right? They should
No.
still be able to have their water and everything?
Yeah, we estimate like almost 6 days of storage.
Okay,
Okay,
So,
good.
so we're just being on proactive and on the cautious side, not there, and yeah. But no, we should be well 5 to 6 days for sure.
okay, good.
And then we're getting ready to schedule the fall flushing of the system. Adam, you want to speak to that because you've have a plan for staff? Can't hear you.
Yes, we've been going through and planning fall flushing. Currently, we're looking at doing the winterization over a period of 3 to 4 days, depending on operational requirements, to get the hydrants and such ready for winter, and that's the game plan thus far.
So question either to Adam or Larry, does that flushing in that happen before the replacement of the pipe or after, or does
Oh,
it
it'll be
matter?
before. It'll be before. We're looking at doing the flushing here, starting this Friday and all that. So yeah, it'll be done. It'll be done way before we look at doing the repair work at the header.
Okay, thank you.
And then the other thing is I'm expecting that the ministry will be coming to visit me next week or the week after to either do a surprise inspection or an announced inspection, because the last one was done in October 2020 and they do them every 12 months. So, and we do have a new inspector, Paul Miller, who's taking over from Brittany. So we had him in Colburn, so we've met him once. And then the drinking water municipal or drinking water license has been extended till March the 11th, 2022. And then the next thing is the service contract that expires at the end of this year, and the township has put out an RFP for it, and Lucy will be bidding on it. Any questions that I can answer? Okay, thank you.
Okay, if there's no questions, then we did a motion to there. So everybody in favor of the motion to receive and file and further the report to the council? Passed. Okay, number 8, new business for future discussion. Does anybody have any new business to bring up? Mike?
Yes, I do. I am the always ever hopeful, and I wondered if Pat has any news at all to share with us with respect to the grant application for our new well.
No, I'm sorry. I haven't heard any news, but no news is good news in this case. So we're still waiting. It usually takes a couple of months before they get back to us. So I will let you know as soon as I know.
A couple of months, and when did we send in that application, Pat?
That one went in September,
October, November, so the end of November, maybe.
hopefully.
Yeah. Okay, well, that'd be a nice Christmas present. Thanks, Pat.
You're welcome.
Anything else for new business? I will bring up that I believe it's coming up at council tomorrow, but we do have a couple of members of the public that have volunteered to be on the water committee. And you can correct me if I'm wrong, Pat. I think it comes up at council tomorrow, is it?
Yes, it does.
So hopefully then for the December meeting, we will have 2 more people.
Yes, and just for the committee's information, I did make the individuals aware that we had a meeting today, told them that they could sit in on it. They couldn't vote on it, but they could sit in on it if they'd like to. So.
Okay, good. Thank you. So that'll be good. We'll have 2 more members. Is there anything else? Any other new business from anybody? Troy, nothing from you? No? You're quiet?
Surprising. Surprising.
Okay, we'll move on to number 9, the next meeting. The next meeting of the Grafton Communal Water Committee will be on December 15th at 3 PM. Is that good for everybody?
I might be Christmas shopping that day.
Everybody mark it in the calendar. Troy, when does the RFP end?
I'm looking at it, November 5th.
Okay. So then we will, by that meeting, we'll know who our provider is and everything, and we'll go forward for 2022.
Correct.
Okay. So that's it. We're good for December 15th, 2021 at 3 PM. And can I have a motion to adjourn from somebody? From John, seconded by Mike. All in favor? Thank you very much, everybody, for coming. John, you can
Thanks,
go back to
everybody.
the gardening outside.
Thanks, guys.
Take care, everybody.
Everybody have a good
Bye.
night. See you later. Bye-bye.
That chairman, he runs a meeting, doesn't he?
Yeah, we want to get it out and over. I got to get outside too, John, and get my gardening done